The creator-founder era has begun. If you think of the biggest companies you can think of today, a lot of them you will know because of social media. All right, so who am I? This is me, the small one compared to everyone else. I'm Jack. I'm co-founder and CEO of Free Humanity, the group that holds HelpBnk and the Simon Squibb brand and number of other initiatives as well. Just a show of hands, how many of you have heard of HelpBnk or Simon Squibb? Oh, good. How many of you haven't? Don't be afraid. One. Perfect. My ego was about to go through the roof when I was going to say no one, but one. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, I mean, 5 years ago, I was a broke student with the dream working at Sainsbury's, and my background personally, in a business sense, was copywriting. I taught myself copywriting and marketing because, frankly, I hated A, university, and B, Sainsbury's. Don't tell anyone. And I was determined to get out. So I taught myself copywriting. I had 30-something sales calls before I signed my first client, so kind of learned sales that way. And long story short, I got lucky. I was documenting my journey on TikTok at the time. I was doing days in the life of building a marketing agency when it wasn't a marketing agency. I was a freelance copywriter trying to find clients. But I came across one day a person called Callum Church who had a podcast. I went on his podcast, and another guest on his podcast was a guy called Simon Squibb. Now, Simon had, I believe, 100 or 200,000 followers on TikTok at the time, 6,000 followers on Instagram, and the three of us ended up becoming friends. Callum was a genius video editor and creative. I was getting all right at social media and copywriting, and Simon has always been Simon Squibb. He sold his last company to PwC for more company than he'll ever need. And he wanted to give back to his 15-year-old self. So the three of us ended up teaming up and helping build his social media presence to help people start and grow a business across the world. At the time, we weren't getting any views, but Simon's mission was the exact same, to help billions of people be free. And yeah, 4 years later, here we are. HelpBnk has 250,000 views, our platform where people help each other start and grow their own business. The Simon Squibb brand now has 18 million followers and reaches around 400 million plus people every month. And to the point of why am I here and why do I care, everything that we build and everything that we do, from the content to HelpBnk, all serves the same purpose of helping people believe in themselves and take action on their dreams. Because it's my belief, at least, that people working at Sainsbury's or people at school that have that spark inside them, that life can be something more. They want to do their own thing, but they're not shown that path. It's my belief that everyone can take that path. It doesn't mean everyone has to be Elon Musk. But even if it's just selling flowers as a flower shop, or taking control of your time, becoming a freelancer, I believe anyone can do that. So everything that we build tries to reach and inspire and help people that want to do that. So let's jump into it. What we're going to do in terms of layout of this session is I'll go through some fundamentals of how to build your own brand on social media, why I think it's important for the success of your company, and then once we get through that, we'll do a bit of Q&A. And as well, if anyone wants to volunteer and we have time, we'll pull up a couple of people's social medias and give a bit of feedback and try and come up with a strategy for you if we can within a couple of minutes. So the old way. Can everyone see the screen, by the way? Am I standing in the way? All good? All right. The old way, you build your product and then you market it with ads. You spend a lot on it. You hope you get customers, and then those people become your community. All right, this is the old way. It costs a lot of money. Typically, people raise a lot of money to spend it on this. Yeah, this is the old way. But the new way is slightly different. And this is how we've done things with Simon Squibb and HelpBnk. Is the mission came first, to help people be free and follow their dream. Then we started creating content around this mission, bringing people together who believe in the same thing, trying to educate. That helped us build a community. And before long, we accidentally have a business because we have thousands and then hundreds of thousands of people that follow the content, that trust us, that then want to buy from you. Shame we don't charge for help, so we had to find other people to sell to, which was brand sponsors, and we were able to build a business from that. Now, the interesting thing here is twofold. The first one being, you don't have to spend a load of money on ads immediately if you don't want to, is the first thing. And secondly, when you do choose to spend money on ads, if they become a lot more powerful. So at this point, once people already know you, and I'll come on to this later, your ads will become more powerful if you already have content out there, but we'll come to that point later. The second thing as well, if you already have a business, which some of you do, you can plug it into this system, and we'll get into that as well. So, attention is the new currency. You capture attention through authentic, valuable content. This, over time, allows you to build leverage, build trust with people, and then you can build revenue. Money follows attention, not the other way around. Attention is the modern startup capital. We say attention is the new oil, and I think it's true. Earn it consistently, you can trade it for anything you need. So, some examples, and there's a lot nowadays. Hands up if any of you haven't heard of any of these. A few of you. So, I'm assuming all of you have heard of Mr. Beast. If you haven't, where have you been? Mr. Beast built a 100 million plus audience first. I don't know if you guys have checked his YouTube recently. He has 450 million subscribers on YouTube, which is just insane. Well, what does he do?
Anyone you don't know. Yeah.
Okay. I've been told when people talk, they can't hear on the live stream, so I'll repeat it back. Someone asked, what does Mr. Beast do? George, you want to answer?
He does a variety of different videos. A lot of it is like challenge based, but no, he started off by just doing random videos like him count to 100,000.
Too long. No, I'm joking. He's a content creator, in short, and his videos reach more people than movies, and they spend more on them than movies. So every video will reach hundreds and hundreds of millions of people. But to my point, this is where it gets interesting. He built a distribution machine over the course of a decade. He's been in the game about a decade now. And what that means is when he comes out with his own chocolate bar, his own brand, firstly, it has a purpose. He goes really deep into like how it's sourced and all of that. But secondly, he already has literally the best marketing machine in the world to promote his product to, right? Grace Beverley, similar with her sportswear brand, Tala. She became known as a fitness influencer and a business influencer, and then able to create her fitness brand, again, without needing to go out and raise those money, without needing to spend money on ads, because she already has the audience to sell it to. And like I said, this is what we've done with Simon and HelpBnk. We've got to 250,000 users, all before even turning ads on. We now use ads in a few different ways, but all of our users came through organic content, through Simon initially, and then we've applied this same strategy to HelpBnk through the Doorbell Dreams, which some of you guys might have heard of, and don't let me forget, I'll touch on it at the end, because there's an opportunity for all you guys to pitch in December. And so a couple of others. So these are like very content creator first people, and appreciate, some of you have a business already, and B, may not see yourself as content creator first, or it might be hard to imagine. So these examples here, in my opinion, are really, really important. So hands up if you've heard of Lovable. Hands up if you haven't. Okay, perfect. So Lovable, as Anton brilliantly puts it, is the last piece of software. Sounds scary, right? What you can do with Lovable is put in your prompt, like in ChatGPT, and build anything. Build an app, build a site, build whatever it is you want. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not there yet. Software developers are still needed. But in terms of where it's going, there are 150 million ARR in 12 months. So they're the fastest growing company in terms of revenue in 12 months. And their audience is everyone, right? And there's a lot of competitors to these, but Lovable are winning by a long way. And Anton himself has become a bit of a celebrity, a bit of an influencer in this world. So on LinkedIn, on X, he's incredibly well known. And Lovable's brand, they built it in a way that's optimized for social media. People talk about it. They partner with like some of the most exciting creators. So we invested in Lovable, for example. So you'll see Simon talking about Lovable. You'll see, I believe, Chris Donnelly, who's also big on LinkedIn, talking about Lovable. And they've kind of tapped into this so that they're massively out-competing their competitors because of the brand piece. Hands up if you guys have heard of John from Stan. Okay, a couple of you. Stan is essentially like a Linktree competitor on a very basic level. On a more complex level, it's the platform that all creators need. So within your bio, you'll have a Stan store that people can then go and buy your products, buy your courses, whatever it is. And along the journey, John, again, has used the strategy of partnering with some of the biggest creators. We also work with Stan. He works with Stephen Bartlett, Gary Vee, a load of others. And through doing this, again, they're able to immediately jump way past the competitors. This company's worth hundreds of millions, again, because they are seen. And a final one of my favorite examples is Salt. Salt is, by the scale of things, a small electrolytes brand. But if you guys are on like Instagram or LinkedIn or social media, I'm sure a few of you have seen them. They seem like one of the biggest electrolyte brands because they're building it, incredibly smart. They're building it in public. They're focusing social media first. I mean, look at this Instagram post. It's got 13,000 likes on a company LinkedIn post, right? It's just insane. But because they're optimizing for social media, it allows them to stand way ahead of the competition. Again, for very low cost. It's just understanding how to do it and putting it into action. I'll caveat all this by saying you don't need social media for your business to be successful, which might sound contradictory, but anyone can build a business without it. But if you want to have the market leading business, if you want to win, if you want to stand out ahead of your competitors, and if you don't want to spend as much money as your competitors, social media is the key to achieving that piece of scale. Whether it's now and you do it from the start, or whether it's later on. Let's just say you have a recruitment agency and someone says the word recruitment agency, you want to be front of mind for those people, and social media is the easiest way to be front of mind for those people. So the creator founder blueprint. Initially, what you want to do is build audience. Build your audience through creating social content. Give before you ask. Gary Vee says jab, 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 right hook. Give to your social media following. Show them value, show them love, show them attention. Be authentic with documenting your journey. Don't talk about what your business does, talk about the mission. Do this over and over and over again. Then you can plug your product in. Again, whether you build it at this point or whether you already have it and you start here. Then plug in your product, something that people within your audience actually need, because these are the people that you want to talk to. Then build scale from that. Keep doing it over and over and over again, and build more audience, and then the flywheel keeps going, and you have more customers than you'll know what to do with. So let's get into a little bit of a practical session, because hopefully by this point you guys understand how and why you might need a social media presence, how it can be powerful, how can you actually build it. So at this point I want to credit Callum, I told you about at the start, our head of creative for our ecosystem. In my opinion, the most genius creative in the world. He put together a very simple 4-step plan for how you build social media content. Now, most people start here. They think, what content should I do? This is the wrong place to start. They think, maybe I'll do content talking to the camera, giving advice. Wrong place to start. A, you're competing with a billion people, and 2, you're not really understanding why you're doing what you're doing, or who you want to talk to. The format for your social media content is downstream of all of these things. So, purpose and mission, this is the first thing. Now, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, are thinking about this when thinking about building your startup in general. What is the purpose or mission for your business? We'll use Simon Squibb as an example. The mission is to help people follow their dreams and fix the education system. Okay? That's the key mission. All right. So while we go through this, think about it for yourself as well. What's your mission? Next, what's the brand and idea? Now, this is a point Callum makes that is insanely good. Once you start putting yourself or your company on social media, you're no longer a human. What you are at this point is an idea, right? Every one of you somehow apparently knows Simon Squibb. But how many of you know him personally, right? Probably not many of you. You have an idea of him. You have an idea of who he is, an idea of what he stands for. Simon Squibb he is a normal guy. I was about to say something inappropriate as a joke. I was going to say picks his nose. But he's also an idea. So what idea do you want people to have of you?
Give it a minute. So strange. Just having a Friday.
Is the live still going?
Yeah, the live is
All right.
still online, so
All right.
you'll just I lost the audio slightly, but
All good.
give it a minute and it'll come back. There we go.
Idea. So, what's the idea you want people to have of you? Again, coming back to Simon. No, it's fine. I was just checking if it's on the bottom. Back one, yeah. So his brand, the idea is he's the dream guy, right? That's really what he is. So again, for you or your company, what's the idea that you want people to think of you? Again, it's downstream from the mission. Maybe your company is the hydration people. Let's say going back to electrolytes, like they focus on hydration. When you see them, the idea you have of them is, let's say, hydration. So think about what the idea is for you that you want to create for your company or yourself for the world. And then from here, what's the story that you want to repeat forever? Because this is where social media isn't actually too complicated, and you don't want it to be too complicated. You don't want to have a million different things or stories that you're talking about. Like, otherwise people won't be clear what you are. You guys know Simon because you know his What's Your Dream content in the street, right? And really, it's the same thing over and over again. Everyone can have a dream, anyone can make it happen. And he's just repeatedly reinforcing this with the content, interviewing people in the street, understanding their dreams and telling them that they can make it happen, giving them some advice on how. And we've done this for 3 or 4 years now, over and over and over and over and over again. And we're at 18 million followers now, but there's billions of people in the world that could hear this idea, could hear the story, need to hear the story. And also, you might have heard the saying, you need to be reminded more than you need to be taught. So understand what the story is that you're trying to tell consistently. And then, once we have all these three, then we get to what is your format? What is the content that you are going to be creating? Now, everyone starts here, like I said, but this is where we want to end up once you understand these three. So, for example, once we know Simon's purpose and mission, helping people follow their dreams. The brand, the idea is he's the dream guy. The story is that anyone can do it. Then what is the format? And this is where you can test. So we tested a few things. Initially, Simon got his initial audience base from him talking to the camera and explaining this story. And that did decently well. He got a decent amount of followers before Callum and I even knew him. That was one format. And then one day, Simon walked into a Pizza Express and asked someone, would they ever start a business? He'd made some money on live, and they said yes. And long story short, he gave them some advice and he gave them some money to help them start that business. He filmed it all on his phone, sent it to me and Callum, and Callum instantly knew, this is something, this is a format. And then we rinsed and repeated it. Instead of Simon filming, we got Callum out there with a camera. Then we got him a mic. Then later we got some better cameras, and we kept testing that over and over and over again. It did well, and that became the format. So again, if we think about for you, what could the format be? Think, what type of person are you? What might you find fun or interesting? For example, do you prefer talking on a podcast or talking to the camera? Are you the type of person that could be out in the street, maybe doing street interviews? It's not a unique format to us. Loads of people do street interviews. Are you the type of person that wants to document? There's a lot of different ways, and to get some inspiration for formats, you can look, and I'll show you a couple in a second. You can go on social media and understand what type of content people are doing, and never copy someone, but you can copy the psychology behind it. Okay, so this is a format, and then you can test, let's say 3 of these 50 times, 100 times, and then look at A, what did you enjoy the most, B, what got the better results, and then you can keep doing that and grow from there. But just to emphasize, don't start here. Answer these questions, and then that will allow you to get a better, more unique answer when it comes to format. So these examples on this next slide. I was assuming some of you wouldn't know Simon, but we'll start with this example anyway, just to give you an idea. If we could click on, yeah, this one.
Excuse me, do you have a dream?
Do I what, sorry?
Have a dream?
Do I have a dream? Yeah.
What is it?
Win the lottery.
How much would you like to win?
£5 million.
Okay, so let's just pretend, just for a minute, play along. You've won £5 million. Congratulations. You buy a house, right? You go on a few holidays. Then what will you do?
I would open my own business.
What would it be?
I'd have a small cafe that would close once everything had sold out.
I like it, by the way, instantly. I'm like, I want to go there. What's stopping you doing the cafe?
Money.
How much do you need to open a cafe?
I've got no idea.
That's it. To make a dream happen, actually, you'll be surprised. Other people can give you the money if you just know how much to ask.
Okay.
Just got to think like what you really want.
I've got 2 kids at home.
They'll help you in the cafe. They'll
Probably
definitely.
would to be fair.
They would. They'd learn more probably from you than in school. Working in the cafe, I'm pretty sure. All right. Bye. What would you call it, by the way? What would you call it? Come up with a big name. Talk to the kids about it tonight. You can make it happen. I know it. Have you got an Instagram? What is it? Help me find her. Help me, help her follow her dream.
Within 10 minutes of that video being posted, somehow someone had found her. And then, so then we could tag her in the video, collab with her on Instagram, and she got a load of following. Literally within 10 minutes, I don't know how.
Did you open a cafe?
Who knows? Not yet, this was a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Will she? Hopefully. Will she be slightly more likely to after that interaction? Hopefully. But the important thing, this is slightly off topic, but for us, what's really, really important, and more important than the one person in the video, they're important, is the 3.2 million people that watch the video. Will they be inspired to do their own thing? Will they be slightly more likely after watching that to open their own cafe? Hopefully, we hope so. Video is the most important and valuable format today, short form video in particular, because a few years ago, an app called TikTok came along and completely changed the game of social media, right? They invented this algorithm that knows you better than you know yourself. For example, it literally showed me my future co-founder Callum's content, even though he had a couple of thousand followers, and it showed it to me and showed me that I was supposed to meet him or talk to him. Actually, TikTok showed me I was an entrepreneur before I even knew that I was an entrepreneur in about 2020. Started to show me educational content about business, which I'd never searched for, and then I started learning it. My point being, TikTok changed the game with its algorithm. Every other platform then copied. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, they all have this short form video functionality in this shape, where you scroll through, it shows you what content that it thinks you want to see. And the beauty is any content can go viral. So back in the day, it was incredibly hard to build up a following on Instagram. You don't really see celebrities. Now any content on short form platforms, TikTok in particular is still the best, that is good, will get views. So if your content isn't getting views, it's not good. We also still put out a lot of content that doesn't get views. It's an ongoing thing, but it's fair. Now, to your question, do you need to create video content? In order to reach millions and millions and millions and millions of people, yes. Do you need to start there? No. You have other platforms like LinkedIn and X, for example, that are more text-based, that allow you to reach a more niche, let's say, professional audience with written content. So you can start there. But the results are smaller and more niche, more targeted. It depends what type of content you want to create. We do both. Recommend over time, everyone does both. But if your priority is getting your business in front of millions of people, short form content is the most valuable place to do that. I'm going to come back to questions if you hold them, just so we can get through the presentation. I'll come back in a bit, but I'll come to you two first. So I want to show you another format, because I've spoken about Simon a lot, to really hammer home the point of formats and how powerful they can be. Can we play this one? This one is not business related, although I'm sure she might come out with a business at some point and use her millions of followers that she'll have to then grow the business.
I'm going to order some sushi, but I'm going to order it using Mr. Sickle, my sock puppet.
Hello there.
Not today, Mr. Sickle. Hello, please can I get a fully loaded... No, 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 no! She doesn't want that. Shut up, yes I do. Please can I have a hoisin wrap
A hoisin duck.
with extra hoisin?
Yeah.
That's so greedy.
Is that to eat in or take away?
Take away, please. Yeah, take away.
A hoisin duck with extra hoisin.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. Shut up. Sorry, he comes out at the most unexpected times.
Okay, don't worry. Perfect, that's just a name. Can I take your name?
Mr. Sickle.
Perfect, that's just on there for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Now I have to sit and wait. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was so awkward. Until next time, Mr. Sickle. See you later.
Thoughts? What do you think her mission is? Dig a bit deeper.
I've seen her before, so like I know that she basically goes out to actively get rejected on stuff to numb herself from worrying about rejection in the future. So she's
Sure.
always going out doing really stupid things to get people to say no to her, to get people to reject her.
Rejection therapy, confidence, right? Her mission, and I've not heard this from, I haven't spoken to her, but the mission is to inspire people to be more confident, to care less about rejection, okay? Now, if I go back, just to quickly look at the pyramid again, the brand, she has become the rejection therapy girl. When I was looking up for that video, I couldn't actually remember her name, and I searched rejection therapy, and in the results was rejection therapy girl. And I clicked it, and then Sophie, I can't remember her surname, Sophie comes up. Right? So like that proves she has become the idea of rejection therapy, which is helping with the mission of helping people care less about rejection and be more confident. The story that she is repeating forever is it doesn't fucking matter what people think of you. You can scream on a train or talk to strangers with your sock puppet pretending it's you, and it doesn't matter. And she repeats that over and over again. Like you said, she does an incredible amount of awkward videos repeating the same story, and it works. So then that allows us to think about the format. And this is a point that I want to get across to you guys. If she wanted to just talk about helping people care less, she could easily sit down with a chair, put a camera here looking at her and say, it doesn't matter what people think of you. Be more confident. Go out. Realistically, who's going to watch that content? Would you? If you were scrolling on your feed, would you stop for that over someone else? Over Oprah telling you that? You're going to listen to Oprah, not random girl who lives in Brighton, right? So, but because she's gone through this, well, her own version of this, I'm sure she hasn't heard of it, in her head, and she's thinking about all of these things and what format can I then create that's unique to me, she is allowed to talk about the exact same mission in a way that can reach millions and millions of people consistently. Now, to my point earlier, I don't know if she has a business. She doesn't, to my knowledge, although her personal brand will become her business. She does social. She now gets sponsored, and she does sponsored content in this format. Like I saw, she did a weird thing with Maybelline and in Boots. But now she wanted to come out with a business. Let's call it a confidence course or a confidence book, for example. She now has hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers who align with her, who understand the topic, who are ready to buy from her. And she didn't have to pay for any of those ads. Okay? So you can reverse engineer this into your business, or if you haven't built your business yet, you can do this in the background. So yeah, let's go through. Because I'm spending a lot of time on each one, but hopefully funny, but hopefully valuable. Because I think it's incredible when people are able to do that. Again, same with Simon. Just to reinforce one more time, if Simon just spoke about business knowledge or business advice, he, even though he has, made millions and millions and he's super successful and he's charismatic, he's still got to compete with Gary Vee, with Alex Hormozi, with all the biggest business creators, right? But because you think about what format is relevant to you, what idea do you want to be known as, It can do something different that's authentic to him and still talks about the mission, which allows you to reach millions. And not all of those people will be your customers, but more people will know about you, they'll know about your company, know about your idea. And you'll create a network of people, or you might find investors through your content, or like whoever. We're lucky enough we've got to the scale where we can reach almost anyone in the world just through like an Instagram DM, which naturally is hugely valuable for your business, no matter what it is you're building. So let's move on. The attention flywheel, just to reinforce. Create content that brings people into your world. Give value to them, like I said earlier, turn that into a community. Build a connection, make them stay, Instagram stories, or create like a Facebook group, whatever it is, like build that connection further with your audience, get them to stay. Then you can convert these people into becoming your customers. We spoke earlier about Stan. You might have your Stan link in your bio, or you might have your website link in your bio, let's say, and then people who are following you on a regular basis then can come through to buy your product. Every so often, you might promote your product, not as much as you're giving value or entertainment or whatever it is, but you'll find ways to like cleverly weave in your product. These people then become your customers. And then one of the most important points is consistency. The most common thing that I hear is people like trying content, saying it doesn't work, or it hasn't worked for them. Unless you've posted every day for 2 years, you haven't tried content. Now, I know it sounds like scary, but the truth is, if you can do that, A, you're out competing 99% of people because they can't and won't, and B, you're sticking around, you're getting the results of compound interest, like you would of money, the compound interest of posting, you're getting the learnings to improve creating content, and you're able to grow your audience with the effect of continually posting videos. You'll have a lot more likely to have one viral video if you consistently post for 2 years than if you do, let's say, 5 posts. And that one viral video might bring you 10,000 new followers, all right? And then it might have felt before that like everything was pointless, but then you needed to do that to get to the one viral video, for example. That'll also then give you the motivation to keep going. Consistency. Once you start creating content, don't stop. Be disciplined with it, as if you were going to the gym, as if you were investing money. It's a long-term play. You can't do content in isolation, of course. You're building the business on the side. You've got to have your finances in check, all of that. But if you consistently have your content machine flowing from whenever you decide to start, 2 years down the line, you'll have outgrown a huge portion of your competitors, I guarantee. And then, keep it going, keep building. Okay, so a couple more points before we transition to some questions and a social media roast, if anyone wants to do it, is own your distribution. So throughout today, I've been picking up why you need a social media channel. I've been picking up why you need followers, why you need views. The truth is, if Instagram bans you tomorrow, you're a little bit screwed. If you don't own your distribution. So what does this mean? Algorithms are rented. The platforms control the reach, right? Rules can change, accounts can get banned. You are always vulnerable to it. It's both the most valuable thing in the world because it allows you to reach millions of people, and also potentially slightly risky because of these things I just mentioned. Your audience and followers, they're important, they're valuable, but they might be temporary. For example, someone following you might not see your content 2 months later because you're not creating good content anymore. And the algorithms prioritize good content, not following. Again, you might lose the account. So following are important, but it's not everything. What you need to do alongside building your social media, this goes for every single platform, LinkedIn, whatever it is build your assets. Build your email lists. Build your SMS subscribers. Build a private community. Maybe even a platform, if that's what you're building, for example, like we have with HelpBnk. These relationships you keep. You own these. If Instagram bans Simon tomorrow, we still have our email list. We still have the HelpBnk database. If it all goes down tomorrow, or TikTok gets banned like it was going to in the US, right? Like, it's very hard to take away someone's email list. So what you need to do consistently is both. Also, once you have these people on your email database, I'm not going to go into the depths of email marketing, but you can consistently reach these people, very easily. And also, email makes more money than social media. I know this because we have a big social media following and we have a decently sized database. The email makes more money because it's targeted. People can click straight through to it. You reach them straight in their inbox. So as you're building your audience, funnel people through to A, your platform, or B, your email list. One good way to do this is through a lead magnet. We might offer someone a free guide for finance, let's say, if you're an accountant, and then in order to get that free guide, they put in their email and their name, and then they join your subscriber list. Continually do this throughout your journey, especially if you let's say your product's not launched yet, or you don't even have a business yet. Start a newsletter or a community where you can continually reach out to people over email. Because again, similar sort of thing applies, right? Like it might not seem valuable if you have like 100 emails, but over time, as you can keep growing your social media following, keep building your email list in parallel. A, you'll make a lot more money. B, your business will be more valuable. If someone wants to value your business and you have 1 million emails, like through platform signups or whatever, your business is instantly a lot more valuable. And C, like I said, if something happens to your social media following, or you stop creating, or the accounts go down, or whatever it is, you still have your email list. So I wanted to hammer home that point of do both, because you won't regret it. In fact, you'll be very grateful that you have. And a lot of people don't do this very early on. They don't realize it's important, or they can't be bothered. But do it. Okay, like I spoke about earlier, if you do social media right, you don't necessarily need to run ads. You can get all the traffic that you want without running social media ads. But the really, 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 really interesting thing is that ads still have a place. We use meta ads now. We didn't for a couple of years because we were just focused on building the audience. But ads allow you to, I'm sure all of you guys know on a very basic level how they work, but they allow you to put, let's take meta ads for example, put your ad, your video or your photo in someone's feed, and then offer a direct click through to buy your product or to sign up to your email list or free guide, whatever it is, in the feed, right? Instead of having to go to link in bio and click through like you would for content, you can have a button. There would be a button just under this saying like apply now. So the interesting thing though is once you have a following, ads become a lot better, a lot more valuable. If no one knows who you are and you put ads out there, A, no one recognizes your face, so you spend more on the ads. And B, you probably don't necessarily know how to create good content, or you'd have to learn how to do it. Once you've built a base of a social media following, it doesn't have to be huge. A, you've got the understanding of like good creative content, so you're naturally going to be better at creating ads because a lot of the psychology is the same, right? You need to get people to watch and engage and then click. So A, you're going to be better at it. B, creative, and I'm going to steal this quote from our marketing director, Tobias Allen, creative is a new targeting. So again, for those of you that know a basic level of how meta ads work, you can choose who you target, 16 to 25, people based in London, mums, whatever it is, or even followers of certain people. It's interesting, but now creative targets people. So if you're, just by having your name, or someone's name or face in your ad, it will then target people who know it already. So by being known, it's way easier to reach people who want to buy your thing because you're already known. Also, a very basic point, but a very powerful point, you can directly retarget your following through ads, right? So this is what we do. We have a offer for people called the HelpBnk Starter Kit. Those of you who don't know what it is, you sign up to a couple of our partnered tools like Xero, Wix, for example. You get a free year with Xero. We then give £150 to the person, so we cover what they pay to sign up and more, and then that allows us to offer everyone that signs up to it a free mentorship session because the platforms that you signed up to gave us money. So it's our unique way of giving people money and a mentorship session while doing it sustainably. My point is, so for this offering, we then retarget the people who follow the content, talking about the offering with a link direct through to click. And the ROAS, return on ad spend, of this is insane compared to what most other people might find with their content, because people have trust in the brand, they have trust in the content, they recognize it, they might even recognize Adam's face, who appears in all of the content and is a community, he's our community lead at HelpBnk, some of you might know him. So my point I'm trying to make here is organic builds trust, paid compounds it. Once you build your audience, paid marketing becomes a lot easier and a lot more valuable. So I'm not saying don't do it, but it'll be better if you build your own brand and your own content. All right, and the final slide, just to summarize a little bit, but also emphasize 4 of the things that for us have been the most valuable in growing our brand. First one is operations. As you scale, initially it'll be fun, you won't necessarily have any processes. We used WhatsApp for our team and no task management software for like 2 years. Once you start to scale out your content and you build a team or whatever, build operations and processes that allow you to scale. I'm not an expert on that. We brought in experts on that. But it becomes important as you scale. Automations, this comes back to the email list point. Systems that capture leads and nurture relationships as you scale. So again, for HelpBnk, for example, people sign up and then they get a welcome sequence that engages them, gives them more help, sends them to the right places that they want to go and we need them to go, X, Y, and Z. So building these in the background, like as simple as an email sign up and then a welcome email sequence, allows every time you get a video that say reaches 100,000 views and X amount of people click through to sign up, it allows your audience to get nurtured and become your customer automatically over time because you built it. The next one is funnels. So again, it's all very well getting views on your content, and there is a belief that like certain views are pointless. If you get 1 million views and they don't become a customer or they don't do anything, is it pointless? My belief is no, because like I said, it helps your brand, it helps you become the rejection therapy girl or the dream guy or whatever. But, I'll carry on talking, but naturally you want to convert as many of these people as you can into being your customers, into being your audience members. And funnels, I guess, is the simple way to do that. And what I mean by funnel is just a flow of traffic. If people watch your content, are they following you? Are they then clicking the link in your bio? Is it simple? You say what you do. You say, get your free guide here, arrow. The link takes them directly to the free guide. They put in their name and their email. After they get their free guide, you provide them then value via the email automation. Is this funnel clear and clean? Because that will allow you to maximize the most of the traffic that you've got. And then team. People, and this goes for business as a whole, so this isn't just for content, right? But like people that also believe in your mission will be the absolute key to scaling it, right? And this is what we attribute a huge amount of our success to, is we're very clear with our mission to help people be free and follow their dream. And we've attracted people that live and breathe this mission every single day. So they're motivated to work hard on it. They're motivated to put their all into it. And then that just allows you to multiply your impact. Simon says 1 + 1 = 11. It's true. It's true. We're able to reach hundreds of millions of people every single month because we have a little army of people who fight for the same thing, believe in the same thing. It's a basic business principle, but the same goes for content. Start off as just you. As you scale it over time, you'll need a team. If the team also believe in the mission and care about what you do, you'll get a lot better results than if you hire some external agency that doesn't really care. They just want to collect the retainer from you every month, for example.